Season 2 in Battlefield 6 is delayed by a month. But maybe it's a good thing. Everyone are mad and screaming the Battlefield studios have not learned their lesson, but I think there's more to it. We're gonna talk about that. Last episode we've proven yet again that we know what we're talking about, and this episode won't be any different. So, enjoy the conversations. So, welcome to Battlefield 1 Podcast, your number one Battlefield-related podcast on the planet. My name is Tom, also known as TheLankySoldier. I'm your host as usual. First solo episode of the year, because Ray is working, and he's a very boring person, so I have to host by myself, but that's okay. I will not bore you too much with my rambling. We're just gonna talk about Battlefield, we'll talk about Season 2, what it means, what can be done, and some new development stuff that is happening in the background. I'll mention, as I literally about to record, I literally got some news right now that something is coming. So, enjoy the conversations.
But then when you've got Angel screaming, Angel does it again, and
that was something, right?
That was something.
I'm sorry, you canceled the support for the game a month ago.
Why would they even host a trade?
I don't know.
And I sit down and he picks up one donut and eats it. So you want to like QA games?
When the rubber meets the road, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I don't like seeing Mario get his skull smashed."
Oh, I would love
It
to see
doesn't
that.
work.
I would love to
Yeah,
see that.
again.
First and foremost, of course, I have to thank everyone for joining us, for another episode of Battlefield 1 Podcast. Thank you so much for choosing us to be your number one source regarding, anything regarding Battlefield. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, basically all the major platforms, or YouTube, even though YouTube doesn't really pushing us for some reason, but that's not the point. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for choosing us every week. Your weekly Battlefield news, all that kind of stuff, conversations, and I hope you enjoying all the conversations we have. So thank you so much, and of course, thank you all the patrons. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier for your early access, ad-free stuff, extra content, all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening to Battlefield 1 Podcast. Main topic, I guess, because not much to talk about. So let's just do a quick episode, just me rambling about Battlefield. So we mentioned it before, there were leaks and rumors about Season 2 being delayed right before, early December. I can't remember which episode was it that I posted to say, hey, it looks like Season 2 might be delayed. No one noticed, but we noticed, and Season 2 will be delayed. That's the impression we were getting a month ago. And lo and behold, as we're in the current times, I'm recording this on the 16th of January. This was announced on the 13th of January, a week before the initial Season 2 was supposed to come out. It got delayed. Season 2 is delayed by a whole month. So that's the fact. I will talk about how people feel about, the reactions, all that kind of stuff a bit later, but let's just go through some facts that we know, what we know about Season 2 so far. So Season 2 is basically a continuation of Battlefield 6, the RedSec will get updates, Battlefield 6 multiplayer will get updates, and from what we know, of course, there's new weapons coming and so on, so that's whatever, right? There's leaked weapons that are coming, a list of weapons that are coming. You know what, I'm not gonna talk about it, there's no point. It's an automatic weapon, a modern weapon that shoots bullets. I don't need to tell you much about it. It's not gonna keep you awake during the night. Oh, I hope this gun is coming. It's just guns, whatever. So of course, new guns, new content, all that kind of stuff. Seems like propaganda will be part of it. Not confirmed, of course, but that's the impression that we're getting. It's in the files. It was mentioned everywhere, and we've been talking about propaganda. So anyone that doesn't know, if you're new to this, if you're listening to this and you have no idea what we're talking about propaganda, propaganda is a map that featured in Battlefield 4 in Dragon's Teeth DLC, and it was a fantastic infantry-focused map with tanks and everything. It's a really good map. It basically took place in North Korea, in the capital of North Korea, and it's definitely one of my favorite maps when it comes to from that game. From Battlefield 4, propaganda is definitely my top 5 most loved maps ever. And people say we don't need more infantry maps for Battlefield 6. You know what? I'll accept propaganda. Propaganda is a really, really good map that basically screams Battlefield. Yes, it's infantry focused with tanks on each side, and there's a train actually going through the middle of the map that always they can always kill you if you're literally in the road. So I wonder if they're gonna keep the train. It would be really disappointing if they won't keep the train. You know what they're gonna do? Okay, so if propaganda is actually coming, that train is gonna be derailed or destroyed in this remake. I can guarantee you. If they're gonna have a train running, that's fantastic. But for some reason, I don't think they have the technology again for that. Like, I don't know. I don't think they have it. So we'll see, I guess, if that's the case. Mark it. So if I'm right, God, you should post this on Reddit. If I'm right, propaganda will have a derailed train in the middle of the map that will give you some more cover to traverse between, the A and B flags to other flags. Through the middle of the map, right, where the big road is where the big road is there. So I have a feeling that there's a big train that will be derailed there. So let's see if I'm right. Let's see. But yeah, seems like propaganda that is coming with this map. With this season. And I'm okay with that. Propaganda is a really good map. Now, question is, people have been talking about, okay, what kind of other map we getting? Because we usually, in Season 1, we got 2 new maps. Are we getting, again, 2 more maps? Or are we getting maybe 3 maps? Because a lot of people are asking for 3 maps. So 1 each month, And I have to agree with everyone, actually. 1 map a month is probably the right way to do it. Now, I will not be sad if there's only 2 maps instead of 3. Don't get me wrong. I don't care. But because I mostly play RedSec than I play multiplayer at this point, because multiplayer is just like I achieved everything in multiplayer I want and nothing to play for. Sure, you can just play for fun, but I have other games to play. Just recently I reinstalled Division and I'm playing the Division right now just to, relax a little bit from the Battlefield. I don't know what to call it, craze, I guess, because I have 250 hours on Battlefield 6 right now, and the only thing I'm playing for right now, the Battlefield 6 multiplayer is literally just to level up weapons, and I don't really care, the grinding is so slow, and the progression is so slow, and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I just don't feel like it, so I'd rather play the Division, and they announce new content and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go back to the games I used to love and just relax a little bit. So that being said, I will not be sad if Season 2 only has 2 maps, so propaganda and something else. But I have to agree with everyone else. A map a month is probably the right way to do it. Because the season does last 3 months. So, and the last month, this month, does feel a bit slow. Now, granted, it got delayed by a month. So, instead of 3 months, we're getting 4 months of Season 1. So, that's that. But I'm just thinking, yeah, a new map every month will be ideal, honestly. I kind of have to agree with other people. It's just the best way to do it. And the whole team, should I talk about the propaganda a little bit? Okay, now I mentioned on the last episode about how I nailed the team of the, well, not the team, more like the color scheme of the season. So the color scheme for the season, or basically the team for the season, is basically toxic gas, which is, I know, very creative, very original. We never seen that before, in any video game, any first-person shooter. No. We never seen toxic gas. We never seen green toxic gas anywhere, and so on. So basically, they showed a little teaser. Well, teaser, I don't even call it a teaser, more like a artwork teaser. So they basically just like a soldier with a gas mask, and he's in a location where green gas is everywhere, toxic gas is everywhere, and so on. So just covering the whole screen, and he's just there in the middle with a gas mask. I mean, sure, kind of cool. But I'm just thinking, wow, toxic gas, so creative, so original. God damn, I'm already rustling my jimmies right now as we speak. Oh god, it's so cool. No, it's not. It's probably the most boring team they could ever come up with for any season. It's just toxic gas. It's just, who gives a fucking damn? And of course, I've seen some people say see, they're gonna replace the fire with gas in RedSec, and it's gonna be, that's why the gas mask will come on. It'll basically be Warzone, like, reimagined Warzone. They're creatively bankrupt. They have no idea what they're doing. Like, guys, chill. RedSec is now replacing the fire element. If it actually is, of course, never say never. You never know. There's always 1% chance of stuff happening, but I don't know. There's no. The fire thing is such a cool mechanic. It's what makes RedSec really unique and interesting from everything else, and them replacing it with gas is just like, oh, so you just want to be Call of Duty, right? So it just kind of defeats the purpose of a whole, Ring of Fire, all that kind of stuff. So no, I don't think they are. There's just no way. There's no way. If they are, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have a big fucking rant if that happens. No, I don't, they're not. They're not. It's just the whole theme of the season. It's just toxic gas. And I guess it kind of makes sense because apparently the propaganda will be, it's not going to be in winter location. It's not going to be North Korea like it was in Battlefield 4. Apparently it's going to be Bulgaria, which I already said on the last episode. Bulgaria is a pretty green country, and kind of makes sense for like, oh yeah, we'll make propaganda into a summer or what's it called, spring or something like that, right? They still can, of course, keep it winter, of course, just for the sake of, yeah, it's a remake, but it's in a different location, and still winter, but it still can be a gas tier. Like, sure, don't get me wrong, it still can be, white, like, the snow and the gas, that's a kind of cool color combo, white and green, that kind of works, so I can see that happening, so maybe that, but anyway, we'll see. So propaganda is probably coming, and I do agree with everyone else, 3 maps, 1 map each month will be ideal. And of course, did I mention about the weapons? Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the weapons, so it's not important. So, why did they do it? Why are they delaying Season 2? What they're saying is that they want to address the feedback they got for Season 1. That's what they're saying. They're saying that the Season 2 is being delayed because they want to address the feedback they got for Season 1. Now, of course, everyone can take that as face value and thinking, maybe. That's possible, of course. Plausible. They can change, address some feedback, all that kind of stuff. Yes, they're not wrong. Well, not wrong, it's their statement. But there's also, of course, back of my head, I'm thinking, is it because they're so behind with everything that delay was about to happen regardless? Because we mentioned earlier, I think we were the first, we were not the first ones, but we're the first ones, big ones, that were mentioning that, hey, Season 2 will probably be delayed in early December. So that's what we said. Early December, there's a big chance that Season 2 will be delayed by a month. And that happened. Do we think they're addressing the feedback? Yes, of course. You can address the feedback, that you got in Season 1 and apply the learnings into Season 2. Of course you can. You have an extra month. I guess you can. But back of my head, like I said, I'm thinking it's because they're so behind with everything. Because we already mentioned, Battlefield 6 was not supposed to come out last year. It was not supposed to come out 4 months ago. It was supposed to come out in 2 months, actually. The Battlefield 6 was supposed to come out 2026, March, April, February. Well, it's somewhere there, right? And they're just basically trying to catch up with everything they were supposed to catch up in this time frame, right? So I have a feeling Season 2 will be a good season. I have a feeling. But it's not going to be a perfect season. I still think we're going to get the same thing that we got in Season 1. Same stuff and everything, maybe, but it's going to be improved. It's definitely going to be improved, but I'm not sure the people are going to be happy at the end of the day, as time goes on. Like, we're going to hear the same complaints about, oh, there's nothing to do, nothing is happening, all that kind of stuff, the game is stale, and so on. And, oh my god, it's dying, the Battlefield 6 is dying, which we know it's not dying. So, I don't know. Thing is, the game did so well. It sold so well. They can delay it a little bit more, and just because they know that this next patch for Season 2 needs to be good. It actually needs to be good, and it needs to provide what Battlefield players want. And it's not even Battlefield players, Battle Royale players, content players, free-to-play players, because the RedSec is there too. It's not only multiplayer. As people say like, oh, drop RedSec. Stop. Relax. So I think they just want to, I think it's expected that they just want to catch up with everything. But I have a feeling, Season 2 will have the same thing that Season 1 was, just a bit in better numbers, with tiny bit more content, I would assume. And some things will be improved to make the game a bit more interesting and tolerable, or more cooked, right? Like in a better way, right? So, like Ray loves to throw food analogies to throw a bit of salt, throw a bit of pepper, and improve the meal. Is it a perfect meal? No, it's not. But does it make it a bit more tastier? Yes. So I think that's the theme is going to be with Season 2. It's going to be the same thing as we go Season 1. It's just a little bit improved, a little bit tolerable, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to hear the same complaints that hey, this is the same thing, and so on, and blah, blah, blah. Season 2 is boring again, like Season 1. Season 3, they need to deliver, and people are going to bitch again that it's nothing to do. That's expected. So that's that. I just think they try and catch up with Aaron. There's always rumors saying it's because Zampella, but the passing of Zampella kind of flipped all their plans upside down. So they now try to figure out what to do. No, I can tell right now. I can tell right now officially. I'm putting my stamp on it. I'm telling right now. You can take this to the bank, and because you have my guarantee. This has nothing to do with Zampella's passing back in December, because the delay was already being floating around, being discussed way before the tragedy that happened before Christmas. Like I said, early December, that was already discussed way before. That was already in the talks for ages. That was already discussed. It has nothing to do with the passing of Zampella. Trust me, these kind of things are being planned way ahead of time. With the feedback they had and everything, this was planned way ahead of time, so it has nothing to do with that. And speaking of Zampella, of passing, and now the company anymore, I just literally go out on my Discord. Our lovely friend Radking, who was on the episode, was it 10 episodes ago? He was on the show with me. He just linked me that Massive Entertainment, so Ubisoft studio, they announced that Julian Geraiki, executive producer on the Tom Clancy's The Division, is actually heading off to a new adventure at Battlefield Studios. So this was just posted by Massive Entertainment. The developers of Division. They say that the executive producer is moving to the Battlefield Studios. And this seems like he's the replacement for Zampella. That's the impression I'm getting. Now, of course, you know what? Might as well go to this next topic, I guess. Alright, Season 2 is delayed. They're improving some stuff and everything. And we know that Battlefield 6 live service is not the best. I think we all agree. It's definitely not bad, don't get me wrong. There's much worse live services out there. But Battlefield 6 can improve in certain bits. And when it comes to the Division has a fantastic live service. As for a game that they made, Division franchise is a really amazing live service. It just is. People love the Division games, and I play the Division. I put freaking thousands of hours in the Division. I love the Division, and there's a reason why. Because the gameplay is fantastic, the aesthetics are fantastic, the art style and everything, the idea behind it, and all that kind of stuff. Division 1, it was just a masterpiece. Division 2 has bad gameplay. Maybe it's not as masterpiece as the first one in terms of aesthetics, all that kind of stuff, but it's still an amazing fucking game. And they already announced year 8, content stuff for Division 2, and they're still going, and Division 3 is being developed as we speak. And there's rumors maybe like, hey, listen, maybe it's not a proper Division 3, it's gonna be like a content update for Division 2, all that kind of stuff. It's basically renamed the game into Division 3, and like you have new players. Like there was some game that did it. Was it Warframe or something like that? Or it's one of the like really big live service games out there, looter shooters or whatever, looter games, did something like that, and it's just like they're like a huge success and so on. But yeah, this guy was basically executive producer for this franchise, and if he's moving to Battlefield Studios, which is literally officially announced, hey, he's moving to Battlefield Studios, so maybe he can give his ideas how to improve the live servers of Battlefield 6. Maybe he's dead, like maybe like, because EA is not like, they're not like picking anyone that could, like some bigger studio, hey, do you want to do this job? No, they're picking anyone that can produce what they want for the franchise. And if this guy has the vision for the franchise, that he has his own ideas how he can, improve Battlefield 6 live service, or just the, or maybe not even the live service, maybe just the actual, the idea behind what Battlefield stands for, yeah, why not? I mean, if the dude has the commitment, the idea, and the skills to produce what he wants, for the Battlefield, my dude has full support, because at the moment, like, no matter what you think about the Division is a fantastic game, Division 2 is a fantastic game, has a fantastic live service, and if he can replicate the same ideas and mythology and everything for Battlefield 6 and future Battlefield games, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's just a win for Battlefield Studios and the whole franchise and the whole, the player base. I think the player base should get behind them. If that's C-Series place, if that's Vince Zampella's replacement, of course. If we don't know that, but I think if he is, great, we'll see that. So I'm recording this a bit early. So I'm recording this a day early before any news drops or whatever. So if Massive already posted this, and actually, you know what? Let me check Twitter quickly. Let me check Twitter. Okay, Twitter is now working. Fantastic. Why not working? The shit website. I hate Twitter. Or X, whatever. I really hate the fucking website so much. Alright, let's see. Okay, Kevin Johnson, what's his name? That name, position. Community manager for Battlefield. He retweeted the Massive post that he's leaving to Battlefield Studios, so that's great. All right, that's it. That's okay. Danny SC posted something. That's it. Okay, so it's not that big news yet, but I think it currently is just now, so it will take time for people to catch up. Anyway, so if he's the Vince Zampella replacement, fantastic, great. So I hope he can, give his ideas to Battlefield franchise, and we can move on from there. Okay, so what else? Like, okay, we can talk about the reaction about how Season 2 delay was reacted by people, which is interesting. Before we move to that, I need to quickly mention you something. So, of course, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. I have to mention that, and I'll just do a quick ad for you guys. I know, it's a solo episode. You already hate my voice, I get it, and the last thing you want me is to put ads in your face and everything, but that's why I have to promote the Patreon, because Patreon helps us to make this show much better. It makes us help to be consistent, all that kind of stuff. And of course, I don't want you to throw money at us just because you like us. I want you to get something out of it. So of course, if you subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier, you get early access, you get ad-free, episodes to all the future episodes you're listening 2 days early, as usual. You get them 2 days early, and then gets released with, ads and everything, with me talking about Patreon on the public feeds, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I just have to, promote the Patreon, because thanks to our Patreon supporters, which help us so much to make this show better. I don't know if you noticed, if you listen to this on audio, you probably noticed some changes in the last 3 episodes, including this one, that Potius is a bit different. He has music, he has, good, better audio quality, all that kind of stuff. That's been thanks to you guys, thanks to the Patreon, and like of course, if you subscribe to Patreon, you of course get early access to our live recording sessions, all the kind of behind the scenes, live gaming gathering, over 50 plus episodes, us talk about video games, movies, friendship, live, anything that is on my mind, anything that is on our mind, all that kind of stuff. So, and of course, a brand new show, Lanky and Sarasot, which is basically me talk about something that I'm talking to you guys, solely, just no filter, fully uncensored, that everything's on my mind, talk about the podcast, talk about the life, or just whatever the case may be. It's just me talking about stuff. And of course, there's some other stuff, that longer videos and everything that you might find interesting. But I'm not gonna talk about way too much. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone that's been supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Your support literally changed the trajectory of the podcast. The podcast would not be here without you. If it wasn't for you, this podcast would not be in the place we are right now. And when you just literally Google Battlefield podcast or anything Battlefield on Spotify or Apple Podcast or wherever, any audio platform, we come up. We're the first one to come up, and it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for everything. And that's why I'm gonna end that. So thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for everything. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. And use a free trial there. There's a free trial there for you to test the waters. Don't like it? That's fine. At least you join as a free member. If you like it, support us. $2, $5, up to you. Regardless, it helps. So thank you so much for everything. Thank you for your support. And let's just go talk about Battlefield. Okay, so let's talk about the reactions for Battlefield 6 Season 2 being delayed. The reactions that we got from people. So before the announcement, people already were bitching. We already mentioned on the last episode that Battlefield is dying, Battlefield is boring, Battlefield dropped the ball, all that kind of stuff. Battlefield is shit. Battlefield is shit franchise. It's fucking dead and so on. Well, let's ignore the fact that, hey, Battlefield is the best-selling game of the year last year, that only Modern Warfare 2 managed to outsold in the last 5 years. So only Modern Warfare 2 managed to outsell Battlefield 6, which was 3 years ago. So Battlefield 6 came out, destroyed the whole year, is the best-selling game of the year. Our creators maybe could come in there and somewhere close, but hey, Battlefield 6 is the best shooter of the year. That's a fact. And it still has 80,000, 100K players. People are like, oh, look, we lost 91% of the player base. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's 80,000 players just on Steam alone. Just Steam. Sure, the numbers went down in other platforms, like, console and everything, and, I get that. But just have to, for comparison, right? For comparison, Battlefield 6 has, let's say, 80,000 players right now on Steam. Guess how many people played Battlefield 4 when Battlefield 4 was good again? When it was good, when it was delivering content, when it was getting content and so on. Guess how many players were on Battlefield 4 in its high day, during its peak. Guess how many players were there playing Battlefield 4 back then? Try to guess. Do you think it was more than Battlefield 6 or less? It was less. By how much less? Well, 35K. 35,000 people playing Battlefield 4 on PC alone. On PC alone. Then it was about 40, 50,000 on PlayStation 3 or 4? 4. About 40 or 50,000 on PlayStation 4. About 40,000 on Xbox. And there were the old-gen consoles too. There was maybe 10,000 on PS3 and maybe 5,000 on Xbox 360. Something like that, right? So 34,000. That was considered really good. Amazingly good for Battlefield 4 back then. And Battlefield 6 still holds 80,000 players on Steam alone 4 months later. Context matters. Now, what's the reactions of people, to the delay about, season 2? People go, okay, the reaction is that people are mad. People are mad. People are very pissed that, hey, it's been delayed, no content, nothing to do, all that kind of stuff. And people were, of course, coming out with some really amusing ideas how to make the game more interesting, more fun, how can they deliver the content, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the most obvious one was Battlefield Premium. So if you're, our audience on listening to this podcast are a bit older, so I presume they played Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 1. They know what Battlefield Premium is. And if you have no idea, you just Battlefield 6 is your first game or whatever, Battlefield Premium was like a season pass back in Call of Duty, for example. Call of Duty back in the day had season passes, right? You buy the season pass and you get DLCs, right? And each DLC had 4 maps or something like that, right? So that was Battlefield Premium basically. It was the season pass for the game. You get 4 or 5 DLCs, and each DLC had 4 or 5 maps depending on the content. Sometimes he had 6, sometimes he had less. But usually the average is 4 maps a season. And those seasons dropped every, 3 months, I guess, depending how it was, right? Battlefield 3 was every 3 months. Battlefield 4 was every 3 months too, but it kind of extended because the game was broken, so they got kind of delayed. After that, we got some free maps as time went on. But yeah, basically that's what it was. That was season, that was that, right? And of course, people are saying we should bring Premium back because we always got loads of content with Premium. Yes, you were getting loads of content with Premium, but smell the coffee a little bit, right? So the way people say oh, Premium was the best thing ever. I think it's literally rose-tinted glasses and a bit of selfishness coming from them. It's yes, you got the content, but a couple of months later, can I play that content? Not really. So what happened is, because the maps were locked behind a paywall, the guns were locked behind a paywall, all the stuff was locked behind a paywall, and majority of the player base did not own Premium. Actually, I can tell you how much people owned Premium on Battlefield 1. Guess the percentage how many people owned Battlefield 1 Premium. And Battlefield 1 was an amazing game to a lot of people. Sorry about the helicopter above my head. I know it's London. There's always something happening. So guess how many people owned Battlefield 1 Premium? 6.3%. Sorry, what? Did I say 6.3? No. 1.6. 1.6% of the Battlefield 1 player base owned Battlefield 1 Premium. Think about that for a second. 1.6 of Battlefield 1 player base owned Premium. Now imagine introducing that to Battlefield 6 or any future game. In an era where video games are free to play and the battle passes, all the kind of stuff, not battle passes, but season passes and everything are just a long forgotten relic because people did not buy them. So when I hear that, hey, season 1 is delayed, this is a fucking failure. The whole game is a failure because they delayed the season. Chillax. And Premium is not gonna fix it. Like I said, Battlefield 6 is still doing really well. You might think the game is dead. Yes, don't get me wrong. It's a bit lacking in its certain stuff. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, on its peak, during its peak time, Battlefield 4 was doing really great. 35,000 was really good numbers back in the day. And when Battlefield 6 is holding almost double that, actually it is double, yeah, it's more than double. It's more than double of that. 4 months later, we're fine. We're okay. There's no reason to panic, and EA knows that. They have the luxury of delaying the season and make sure that this next update will bring those players back. They have the time to make sure that this new season will slap, will get good entertainment from people. It will give word of mouth that, hey, Season 2 in Battlefield 6 is amazing. That's all they need to do. They just need to provide a really good season that people are positive about, and people will come back. People will come back. That's all it is. They have the luxury for that because the game is doing really well, overperformed like hell. So imagine just bringing premium to that and just, yeah, all right, listen, you can bring premium back. Of course you can. Don't get me wrong, you can. But it's not going to be revolutionary as people think. Yes, some people will buy it, but like I said, 1.6% own Battlefield 1 Premium. And when you have like, it's just, no matter how you look at it, I don't care how you look at the overall picture of Battlefield 1 or just in general, just in a vacuum, 1.6 is abysmal number of people buying premium. And of course, premium doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get good maps or good weapons or whatever the case may be. You know, it doesn't guarantee you. Yeah, you'll get a number of them, but do you really want a number of them? Let's say, what's the So Big City? Okay, here you go. Do you want, I don't know, 3 wannabe So Big Cities in one DLC? That can happen. That can happen. That's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that you're gonna get all the good maps. Of course not. There was some DLC maps in Battlefield 4, for example, in the premium deal stuff. Some of the maps were not good. Battlefield 1 was worse. Battlefield 1 had some really, really bad maps. People might disagree, but that's the truth. Some of the Battlefield 1 maps were really horrible. So premium doesn't guarantee you're gonna get really good maps. And of course, what happens with the players that don't want to play premium because the 1.6 or player base only own premium. So that means, okay, so all the vanilla servers are still gonna be running as usual. And all the people that's like, I want content, you're gonna get your content, but you won't be able to play that content a couple of months later because everyone went back to vanilla servers. Because your friends that are less committed to the game will not buy fucking premium. They already paid $70 for the game. Why, you think you expect them to pay another $40? No, they won't. So premium won't fix anything. That's that. So keep that in mind. So that's why I get really mad when I read comments like that, like, oh yeah, they need to bring premium back because it was better. It wasn't. It just wasn't. The player base was not there. People would not buy it. Also, especially in these modern times, when every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. Because people make less money these days. It's not an opinion, it's just a fact. Everything's more expensive. So every dollar counts. No one's gonna spend $40 for the idea of getting maps. No. Certain people will do because they either streamers or they hardcore players. But any casual player? No. They might buy DLCs separately, of course. But again, it's the same thing. Those servers will die out very fast. So premium is not going to fix anything. It just won't. I'm sorry. You might disagree with that, but that's the reality. Premium is not going to fix anything. The only way premium will fix anything, unless it's like an add-on to the live service. That's the only way it can work. It's like some sort of add-on. But what kind of add-on it can be, which Battlefield Pro is basically that. Battlefield Pro is the add-on. Don't get me wrong, Battlefield Pro is not perfect, and it's only $10, I think. No, it's not. It's 20. Yeah, so half of premium is for Battlefield Pro, and you get a couple of skins, and you get tier skips, which is not good. That's nothing. So exactly, like, let's replace the word premium, right? It's instead of Battlefield Pro, it's a premium. It's Battlefield Premium. What exactly you can offer in premium that is fair to everyone, right? Also, because RedSec exists, right? Free-to-play players exist. How do you expect people to, play RedSec, and that certain weapons are locked behind a paywall? It's dead on arrival. It's literally dead. The game is dead. No one's gonna play that. And God forbid one of the paywall guns are actually OP. That's just insanity. That's not happening. So that's that. So premium is not the decision. It's not a decision that EA will take and like, you know what we should make? Oh my god, guys, my cat is moaning in his sleep. I don't know if you heard it. He's streaming something. Oh my god. Oro. Anyway, so yeah, premium's not gonna fix anything, so I'm sorry. So I really want to address that because I saw some comments about me saying, oh, we should bring premium to fix Battlefield 6. It's not gonna happen, guys. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Okay, just moving on quickly with I want to kind of recap with Season 1. So Season 1, right? So the reason the premium conversation come up in the first place is because people are apparently struggling with Season 1 challenges. So there's a lot of people that still haven't finished Season 1 challenges. How? Okay, so I got Battlefield Pro from EA for free. So disclosure, I got the game for free, and it was the expensive edition, which came with the Season 1 Battle Pass and the Battlefield Pro thing. Which is fine, okay. I got 20 tier skips, right, with that. So I kind of started a bit, a bit further down with the Battle Pass when it came out. But in reality, I was done with my challenges in week 7, week 6. All my challenges were done. And because they introduced a reroll for each challenge, so I think you can reroll 5 weekly challenges every week, and you can reroll 3 dailies, but dailies don't mean anything. But long story short, weeklies is what gave you all the Battle Pass points, all that kind of stuff, right? That's how it's supposed to be, I guess. The standard edition, standard stuff, right? I was done with them like on the week 7, I rerolled my challenges very specifically. Like, I knew what kind of player I am, what kind of strengths I have as a player, what kind of weaknesses I have as a player, and I don't like. And it was so easy. These challenges are pretty easy, which I actually appreciate. I actually appreciate how easy these challenges are, because I don't have to stress too much about. Yeah, some challenges were a bit annoying. Don't get me wrong, some of them were annoying, but the definition of a challenge, right? It's a challenge. And people, for some reason, expect to be much easier. And I'm just thinking, how are you struggling? How are you struggling with these challenges, especially when you have rerolls? And I just thinking is the majority of Battlefield players, or maybe just the majority of casual players, whoever, just don't have the mental capacity to understand how to complete them or how to min-max everything. I don't understand personally. I might sound a bit arrogant here, and also like, oh, look at you with you finished your challenge because you think you're good enough. No, but I just I use common sense. Oh, get 60 kills and assist with a carbine. Yeah, I'll take the challenge any day. And I roll the challenges, see which ones I will, like, for example, like finish, finish in the top 10 or something like that in Gauntlet, right? Like, okay, reroll that challenge. I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna play Gauntlet that much. Or, do, arm 3 MCOMs in Rush. Okay, I love Rush, but I'm not gonna play Rush that much. Reroll, or I can capture this amount of flags in Conquest. It's not rocket science. So I'm kind of flabbergasted that people are struggling with Season 1 challenges. So that's why maybe Season 2 was also a perfect excuse to delay, by a month, because people still have their challenges going. And I'm like, they probably looked internally at the data they have, and people just people haven't finished the Battle Pass yet, and this was supposed to start next week, and they're still like 70-80% only done, and they're bitching on Reddit that it's too hard to do. I'm sorry, I can't relate. I think you're just and you should not be struggling. You should not be struggling. I'm sorry, you should not. Now, of course, I went on Reddit, of course, and I talked to, do you want Battlefield 2042 challenges back? Because some of them were really annoying, especially on the maps we had. Also, people forgetting. I shit on casual breakthrough, but if you want to complete some challenges really quickly, play casual breakthrough. I hate it, but it's the easiest way to do it. Like, there's one particular challenge that is really, really annoying. Let's say you need to get 60 kills with a sniper, and it's kind of hard to do it in a multiplayer. Okay, play casual breakthrough. It's there. Kill bots. tracks, everything. Weeklies are tracking there. Go do it. Like, there's some challenges that are really annoying, but you can do them in casual breakthrough. I don't know. People did not realize that you can play casual breakthrough and just do it in like what? I usually, when a new weekly came out, usually it took me like 2 hours to finish everything in one day. 2 hours, my weeklies are done. And that's just me power throughing everything because I want to be done with them and just do something else. Took me 2 hours mostly every day, every Tuesday. Like every Tuesday after work, wherever, I come in. Battlefield new weeklies. Cool. I'm just gonna make some tea, gonna play for 2 hours, gonna be done with the challenges, done. And then for the rest of the week, I'll just play with friends. You know, hey, wanna play RedSec? Hey, wanna play multiplayer? Hey, you wanna play something else? And we're fine. It's easy. Oh, we have to play this new mode, whatever, this mini pass to complete the challenge. That's fine. We can do it. Part of the challenge, whatever. 2 hours. For us, at least for me. And that's really, if there's really some really hard challenges. Don't know. I'm sorry, I just can't relate. I can't relate that people are just struggling with Season 1 challenges still. And majority of the popular comment is that, hey, I don't want to play RedSec. Hey, I don't want to play Gauntlet. Fuck that shit. I don't want to play that. Then reroll the challenges. Why is it so hard to reroll? Hey, you don't want RedSec. Don't fucking play RedSec. Reroll the challenge. Easy. That easy. And apparently that's really hard to understand for people. Okay, alright, let's say you need some challenges to do in RedSec. You have no rerolls anymore. Okay. You do realize you can do that in one match, right? Let's say you need the most popular challenges. Like you need to complete 5 contracts, 5 missions in RedSec. For me, it takes one match. Just land on the edge of the circle. Do the missions. Done. One match. It's literally just one match. And if you got some resistance in your match, 2 matches. The missions are so easy, so brain dead. Like, it's so easy to do them. Just do them. And maybe instead of being a little bitch, complaining, I don't want to play RedSec fucking Battle Royale. Give it a try. Give it a try. Maybe you're gonna enjoy it. Because majority of the people that bitch about RedSec haven't played RedSec. They never tried RedSec. Try it. That's why I hate people bitch about something without them trying it. If you if you play for a little bit and then you still have the same opinion, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. You know what? Fair. At least you gave it a go. You gave it a go. You gave it a go. You gave it a try and you don't like it. That's fair. But do not bitch about something that you haven't played. The same thing with Call of Duty. Oh, Call of Duty is that. Have you played Call of Duty? Well, no. Then shut the fuck up. I only usually, listen to people that played the thing they're talking about. And then I take their, opinion and everything with more value. For example, in our Discord, someone says, I saw someone playing Lord of the Rings, right? I think it was North, actually. I saw someone play Lord of the Rings. I never played Lord of the Rings. I'm not gonna go say, oh, it's fucking shit. No, of course not. I will ask him how's the game, because he plays the games, and I'll take his opinion very seriously, because I value his opinion a lot. So I'm not gonna go and just fucking bitch, oh, Lord of the Rings, even though Lord of the Rings is not my favorite franchise. I'm not gonna go bitch him oh, it's a fucking shit game. I'm not gonna play it ever. No, stop. Stop. It's just so stupid. We had the conversation in Discord saying, oh, go play Ark Raid, it's a much better game. Then say, no, I'd rather play Division. Oh, Division, clearly you don't have any taste. Bruh. I just don't give a shit. I'm so tired, man. I'm so fucking tired. People Anyway, going back on the season challenges. Yeah, I don't understand how you struggle. I really don't understand how you struggle with season 1 challenges. A lot of people just on the subreddit are struggling with that. I'm you either never want to complete them or you're just bitching for the sake of bitching. I just I can't relate. I'm sorry. I just cannot. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on for the last topic, just for the last 5-10 minutes. Okay, so what's my expectations for season 2? Oh, also, I haven't mentioned what they're gonna do while we wait for season 2. So basically, they're gonna release another mini pass that you can complete by completing the weeklies, which is fine, great, that's fantastic. So another mini pass, cool. I personally don't really care about mini passes unless the skin itself is really cool. And if the skins are again AI generated and or something like that, and that looking like crap, I will not care. I will probably force myself to finish it, of course, because like, hey, if I have the if I have the Battlefield Pro thing until the next season, yeah, sure, I'll complete it. I'll complete it. I'll get the skins and everything. So I hope the skins and content is actually really good in that. So that's what there's also something. Oh, they said WXP is coming. Okay, cool. So WXP is really needed, and I agree with that. See, WXP is really needed. There was something else. Let me quickly open. Battlefield Bootland. He usually does good resources. If the fucking Twitter will work. God, I hate this website. Can we just ban this already? Can we ban X and just move to other sites that produce news and everything? Please? Okay, let's see. Where was it? Here we go. Right, so a new bonus pad, which is the mini pass. The Battlefield Labs. Apparently Battlefield Labs is coming, and they will test Season 2 content in there. So, speaking of Battlefield, where's my fucking invite? What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, don't get me wrong. People are gonna leak shit, and I can't talk about it because I'm not in the Battlefield Labs playtest. But there's loads of people in the playtest, and I'm like, how are you in? But regardless, anyway, Battlefield Labs, that's the thing, that's still alive. So they're gonna test the Battlefield Season 2 content on Battlefield Labs. Okay, great, fantastic. WXP weekends, not periods, whatever. Apparently it's gonna be some every weekend, and so that's good. Every weekend you get double XP, fantastic. I have nothing to play for, but double XP for the weapons. Yeah, I'll take that. That's perfect actually. I'll take for the weapons. And then, of course, they explain all the... they're going to say that Season 2 details will be revealed in February, and a greater 2026 roadmap for Battlefield 6 and RedSec in the near future, which I'm more interested in that than about the news of Battlefield, about the Season 2. I don't really care about Season 2. I'm more care about the greater 2026 roadmap for Battlefield 6 and RedSec. Now, that's the one I really care about. And of course, okay, they just explained everything, and it's Valentine's Day. Okay, well, Valentine's Day, fucking double XP. Oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, that's so. Anyway, long story short, so I just can end me rambling about. I think Season 2 will be great. It will not be perfect, but it will be great. They will address some of the feedback to make it more interesting and more fun in many different areas. And of course, this quality of life stuff will come in the game as time goes, like with the new season, which is expected. RedSec will get some new updates, I hope really good ones, because we talked on the last episode about RedSec exclusively, and it was literally just an hour long of us talking about the problems with RedSec, and I hope they can address some of the problems with RedSec, because there's loads of problems that need to be addressed. So, Season 2 will be good. Not perfect, but good. And I'm looking forward to propaganda. I'm really curious what other map they have on the list. What other map they're gonna get? I don't think we're gonna get 3 maps. If we get 3 maps, fantastic. But I don't think we will. I think we're gonna get 2 maps, and maybe some sort of map that is gonna be like a reskin of something, like the Empire State was reskinned into a snow map. So maybe that's gonna happen. So 2.5 maps, I guess. I don't know, but I hope that's the case. I hope it's propaganda and some other cool map. So I hope like a typical good Battlefield map, right? Like people that would enjoy. I personally would still gonna go back to RedSec on a more regular basis than multiplayer, because I can't achieve everything in multiplayer. I will of course explore the new content, of course, but that's not gonna keep me entertained for a really long time. Propaganda maybe for a little bit, but then again, it's still multiplayer. But yeah, the future, the roadmap, the greater 2026 roadmap, That's the one I'm really interested in. I'm really, really interested what they're gonna show and say in that one. And of course, Battlefield Labs, please, can I get an invite? That would be great. Thank you so much. That would be fantastic, please. But if I don't, it's fine. That means I can talk about the podcast because I haven't signed any NDAs. Also, Battlefield Labs should be NDA free. It should be. It should be NDA free. I don't understand why they still keep it under NDA. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's just nonsense. Don't keep it under NDA. See, Battlefield CTE, Community Test Environment, was not under NDA. Why is this supposed to be under NDA? And CTE at least had regular playtests on a regular basis. With Battlefield Labs, we don't get any playtests whatsoever. Like, we got, 2 playtests before the game, after the game came out? I think. So yeah, it's 6 months later, only 2 playtests. That's abysmal. I'm sorry, it is. Even if the game came out and you had to like put all the resources in there, but anyway. There's a bigger story here probably, but we're not gonna talk about that. But what else I can talk about? Like, let's see. Propaganda, yeah, there's like, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, someone mentioned like it would be cool if the battle passes would not expire. You can complete them any time as long as you bought them, you can complete them. Which I agree, that's a really good change. That would be a really fantastic change. But then again, what's the point of battle pass then? Just might as well sell the skin to me, right? Sell me the whole thing entirely, like, for $15, right? If I pay $10 for the battle pass, fine, I'll pay 5 extra just to skip all the challenges, right? Just get the skins. Cool idea, but I don't know how people will react. Like, it's a quality of life thing, don't get me wrong. It would be great, but it's just like, Okay, yeah, nothing else to talk about. So next episode, Ray is coming back. We should talk about some stuff. It's gonna be 27th of January. So yeah, we'll talk about something like me and Ray actually played some Portal recently. We played Gunfight in Portal. Someone remade Gunfight from Modern Warfare 2019 in Battlefield 6, and me and Ray played against each other. It was really fun. We tried to get other people just to play with us, but we couldn't because either ARC raiders or they play in other games, whatever. So it was me and him again against each other, and we had so much fun. It's a bit buggy, of course, but the guy said it's still work in progress, so don't worry about the bugs. So that's fine. I hope he continues improving it, and yeah, we had so much fun in Portal. So we do need to have a regular, like, one episode just talking about Portal. I think we should have one episode about Portal. So that's that. And of course, compared to Battlefield, anyone remember that RedSec Elite Series is happening? Haven't heard a peep about it yet, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be happening with Season 2. It seems like it. And yeah, that's it. So that's kind of it. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for listening to my rambling for an hour about Battlefield and Season 2, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't think it was, but hey, the show must go on, right? So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for interacting and all that kind of stuff. The last episode, doing numbers. Last episode is doing absolute numbers, and I'm glad. I'm actually glad. And YouTube is not promoting our shorts anymore, which I hate. But people, of course, there's always some random idiot comes in like, oh, I'm not going to listen to some guy wearing cat ears because my headphones have cat ears that my wife gifted to me, and they were like £3 on Temu or some shit, and they're just on my headphones, and people bitch about the cat ears so much. I can guarantee you that the people bitching about my cat ears are Americans for some reason. It's just, you could tell they're Americans, and for some reason cat ears is such a sin to them. I'm sorry, like, bruh, it's just cat ears. It's just a piece of plastic on my headphones. I'm not going around and pretending to be a cat or some shit. It's just cat ears. Chillax. It's fine. It's fine. And I reply, every time I get a comment like that, I just reply, go touch some grass, go get laid or something like that, because like, it's just, you're not original, you're just dumb. You just sound dumb. It's just like, wow, just stupid. Anyway, so thank you guys for listening. Thank you for everything. Thank you for this Patreon support, all that kind of stuff. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. We'll see you guys on the next one. And I will go make some food now. So enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.